Welcome everyone. So today we're looking at one of the best activities you can create with H5P, and that is the interactive video. And all it is basically a video that you upload or you get from a website, and you overlay it with activities, labels, a lot of different things that you can add. So we have a video here, and we've added chapters to the video to take you wherever you want within the video. And the user just clicks on play.
These are the photos.
I'll just mute it. So we've added some labels here. These are not part of the original video. We've added labels and activities, so it will automatically pause and you get a button for an activity. You click on it and it asks you a multiple choice question about the video. You answer it. If you answer it correctly, you can continue. Depending on how you set it up, you can set it up so that only if they answer correctly they can move forward, or they can move forward either way. Continue. The video continues, and every dot here symbolizes an activity. This is another activity, but it's a postcard, not a button, so it just pops up. So we chose that it pauses the video when it pops up, and it pops up without a button. So it's just the activity with a picture here, random American flag, and fill in the missing words. I don't know. Check, it's wrong. I can see the answer, a few. Okay, move on. So different types of activities. You can add labels, you can add tables, you can add images, links to images, you can add links, and you can add shapes with links in them. And then there is a summary or summary questions at the end. You can use any YouTube video you want. You can upload any video from your local machine and set up activities on top of it. Very, very good for interactive learning. Okay, let's start. Let's see how we can create this. Let's get started. Creating an interactive video activity using H5P on WordPress. So what you want to do is, on your WordPress dashboard, go down to H5P and click on Add New to add a new activity. And from the module list, you want to select the interactive video module. If you don't have it downloaded or installed, you click on Get to get it. And then you can click on it to start creating one. So we'll give this a title and we'll just call it interactive video. And the first page here, we're just uploading and naming our activity, giving it some labels. The second step, we're adding the interactions. This is the bulk of what we will be doing, and at the end we have a summary task that is optional. Let's take a look at how we can create this. So the first thing we do is adding a video. So you have a few options when you're adding a video. You can either upload a video from your local machine, or you can use a link from a website. So what we're doing today is we're using a video from YouTube, and I'm just gonna paste the link for the video in here, and I'm going to click on insert, so we have our video. I won't touch any of the copyright fields, and I'll go to the next part here, and this is the title of the interactive video. We'll just call it Learn Some English. We don't want to hide the title on the video start screen. We'll keep that. Maybe we can hide it, but I'll leave it for now. Short description, this is optional, doesn't work for YouTube videos, so I won't bother with it. It won't work on our videos. The poster image is basically the thumbnail for the video. Also doesn't work for YouTube. YouTube is a little bit picky when you're working with this activity, but it is the easiest thing. So I won't add a poster image. For the text tracks, you can add subtitles to your video. So call it what you want to call it, give it a label, say what it is it captions or subtitles or descriptions, give it the language, and you can add a file that contains your subtitles to the video. You can add more than one track. I don't need any subtitles for my video, so we'll keep that. But the file extension that it takes for subtitles is WebVTT. If you wanted to add your own subtitles, not difficult. So we'll leave that. We'll just collapse this section here. We'll go down to the behavioral settings before we get to the next part. So for the behavioral settings is, when do you want the video to start? So for me, I want the video to start at 7 seconds. So what you gotta do is you gotta follow this format here, minutes and then seconds. And for seconds, it has to be 2 numbers. So you can't just write 07, but it has to be 007. So this is 7 seconds. Autoplay, we don't want the video to play automatically. We'll leave that. Loop the video, I don't want the video to start over once it's finished. And override show solution button. This will override the show solution for all of the activities that you can create within the video. So this is basically an override for all of them. So I can say enable because I like to show solutions. Retry, we also are going to enable retry for all of the activities. That way, whatever we set in the activities is going to be overwritten here. Start with bookmarks menu, open. So these bookmark menu, this is basically like chapters or sections of the video. You can section off your video into different sections, or if you have a really long video, you can put chapters or headings for chapters. So users can quickly jump between the different parts or the different sections of the video. So if you click on this and you enable it, the only thing that will change is that the menu will be visible as soon as the video starts. If you disable it, the button will still be there. It just won't be open when the video starts. Show a button for rewinding 10 seconds. I don't want that. Prevent skipping forward in a video. Ultimately, I do want this in the finished product. I want to prevent the user from skipping because this is an experience we're creating for the user. We don't want them to be just clicking and scrolling through the video because they might miss some activities that we have created for them. But for now, just so we can try it and for the sake of time, I will allow skipping, and for the sound, I'll leave the sound. I don't want to deactivate the sound. Text overrides, you're basically just overriding the default prompts for all the different prompts that will show up in the video for questions, answers, progress, all types of things. You can change the words or you can just change the language altogether. So we're gonna leave this. We don't want to change anything here, and we have our video. We're starting our video at 7 seconds, and what we're gonna do is go to the next step and add interactions. Let's add our interactions. So this is my video here. I'm gonna click play for a second. Okay, so what we're doing is we're skipping all the way to 7. I'm skipping this black screen with the title. So that's what they will see. The user will see this starting from 7 seconds. And what we have here on top are all the activities or the interactive functions that we can attach to this video. So starting with labels, text, tables, links, images, statements. So now you start to see some of the activities that are there by default, or some of the activities available on H5P, like statements, or single choice sets, or multiple choice, or true or false questions, fill in the blanks, drag and drop, mark the words, drag text, Crossroads. This is exclusive to this activity, and navigation hotspot is kind of exclusive to this activity as well. But the rest of the activities are just basic H5P activities. They're set up in the same way. You can just create one and add it to your video. Another thing that is a little bit annoying about using YouTube videos is you will have this suggestion box at the bottom whenever you click on pause, and this will carry over in the user experience when they play it and pause it. If you use other video hosts like I think Dailymotion or Vimeo, they don't have the same thing. It looks cleaner. You don't get the title, you don't get all of these YouTube options that you can't get rid of. It's too much branding in here. Okay, so let's start with the most basic thing. We'll start with a label. We're gonna add a label to our video. So a label is just basically a text label that will be floating. So the format for adding activities is similar throughout with all these different activities. So the first thing you have to set is the display time. When do you want this label to show? So I want it to show at 7 seconds and go all the way to 17 seconds. So it's going to be showing for 10 seconds. When this label starts, when this label shows, do I want the video to be paused? If I do, I will check it. But I don't want the video to be paused, so I will uncheck it. What is the label called? The first label will be called Becky. This is the name of one of the characters in the video. I'll click done. Now I have a label here called Becky. I can move it, I can put it anywhere. So transform here is only movement. You can only move the position. You have edit, you can copy, you can bring it to the front if you put it on top of another interactive piece. You can send back. So this is basically with layering. So if you have 3 or 4 things, you can bring the one you want to the front, send the one you don't want to the back, and you can delete it. So this is Becky here. So I will leave this label on Becky, and I'm gonna scroll through the video and you will see that the label stays until 17, second 17. After 17, it should go away. So when it changes to 18, the label is gone. So I'm gonna go back to 7. So two ways you can choose the time where you want your activity to pop up. You either scroll to it manually, so I scroll back to 7 and then you add your activity, or you can just add your activity and change the timing once you're in there. So I want to add another label here, and I want to change the timing to be 7 seconds exact to 17 seconds exact. So that's the timing for my label. I don't want the video to pause. And the second label I will call Annie. There are no other options for the label options. This is the most basic option here. And Annie will be here. So we have another label called Annie, and we put that on Annie, and this will go for 10 seconds as well, from 10 until 17, and then when the shot changes, the two labels will go away. So this is the first thing we have done. We can try to watch the video very quickly to see what we're doing next. So we'll listen to the conversation very quickly.
Photos. You haven't seen one for our holiday, have you? No, I haven't.
So let's add another question. Let's add another question here. So we're second 13, and what we're gonna add next is we're gonna add a quick single choice set. And let's add this single choice set. And the display time for this interactive component will be 13 seconds, but we're gonna do it from 13 to 13. 13 to 13. However, we're gonna pause the video when this component shows up. And we can either add a button that will take us to this activity, or we can add a poster. Let's add a button for this one, and the next one maybe we can add a poster. So we're gonna add a button here. And the label for this button will be, just say MC for multiple choice, and this is single choice. For the title, we'll just call it single choice set. That's the title. Now we're gonna add our question, and this is our question here. And the question is, what are the photos Becky showing Annie of? And then we have some options here, and the first option is always the correct answer. So we'll say her holiday, the wedding, or the beach. What is she showing Annie a picture of? So that's the first question, and since, let's see if we can just delete that. I just don't want to have too many questions here, so we'll just have this one question. We don't want to add another answer. And you also have here the behavioral settings. So for each interactive component, it'll have its own settings. Auto continue, so it automatically goes to the next question once one is selected. These settings here are the same as the settings for the activity itself, like the single choice set. If you ever worked with a single choice set module using H5P, these are the same options for it. So I won't go through all the options for all of the components. I have videos explaining and showing every component. So this is it. When you're done, you can just click on done. So you can see here, this dot right here, this is the single SSC, the single choice set. Did that wrong. But if I click on this now, I can just move it around. Where do I want to place it? Let's place it in the middle here. So what I'm going to do right now is I will create this activity to show you what it looks like, and then we'll come back to edit, and then we'll add all the other components. So I don't want to display a toolbar, and I'll just say create. So it's good to see what it looks like, so you can imagine what it will look like as we go through it. It does take some time for this activity to be loaded because of the video, the embedded video. Okay, so as you can see here, it just looks like a normal video, but the controls look kind of different. So let's say play. And the first thing you will notice is it started at 7 seconds. It skipped the first 7 seconds. And also we have labels here. These labels will be on for 10 seconds until 17 of the video. Like I said, when you pause, you still see these kind of suggested videos, which is not very pretty to look at. So let's go back to playing and see what the first interactive activity will look like.
These are the photos. You haven't seen the ones of our holiday, have you? No, I haven't.
So when we got to second 13 is where we set it. It automatically paused the video and this button showed up here. So if I click on it, I get my activity. What are the photos Becky showing Annie of? Her wedding, her holiday, or the beach? If I say the beach, it is wrong. I got 1 out of 2. I have an option to retry. I have an option to continue or show solution. What I can do is I can disable continue and only allow them to continue if they get the question correct. That's one thing we can do. So you can actually stop the user from progressing through the video until they get all the questions correct. They can retry. I'll say holiday. I got it correct. And now I can click continue and the video will just continue. So notice I also have freedom to scroll through the video, but I also showed you that this is an option that we can disable so that you can't just scroll through the video, you can only play. Let's go back into editing this interactive video. Okay, so I want to go back to add interactions. I still have my labels. I still have my activity, and the next activity will come at second number 25. So again, I can go to 25 or I can just add it and see. And for the second activity, we're gonna do a fill in the blank. Fill in the blanks. And this time we will use a poster rather than a button. You saw what a button looks like. We're gonna use a poster this time. So this activity will start at second 25 and it will end at second 25. We don't want it to go for a long time because we are pausing the video when this shows. And when you do a poster instead of a button, you get some different options here. So the title is fill in the blanks. We'll keep it as that. You can add a media to the poster. It could be an image or another video inside the video. So let me add an image real quick. I'm gonna add an image to the poster. This is going to be a totally unrelated image to what we're doing here, but I didn't have enough time to find or create an image. This will just be I don't know, I have the flag of the United States. That's the first thing that came up. We'll have that. Let's call that US flag. No hover text, so when you hover over the flag it doesn't say anything. We don't want that. We'll disable image zooming so you can't enlarge this image, or actually we won't disable it. Let's leave it. So this is if we wanted to add an image. This is what we would do. If we didn't want to add an image, it would not give us any other options, which is different. Okay, we'll stick with the image then. This image is good enough. And US flag, hover text, no. So this is a description, fill in the blanks, and again, this is a normal fill in the blanks type of question. And this is my question here. The beach is only a few meters from the hotel. This is a sentence that is said in a video, and the blank is going to be here, a few, and it will only accept a few as the answer. You can add another one. You can add another fill in the blanks here. It's exactly the same as the one before, but I don't want to add. We'll leave it. For behavioral settings, enable retry, show solution. I don't want it to be case sensitive because I don't really care about that. Require all fields. So the normal options that you see usually in all of the activities. Okay, so that's that. Let's click, and this is what it will look like. This is what it will look like. So this is a poster rather than a button. So this will just show, it will just pop up. It will just pop up. It will have this picture here, the American flag, which can be zoomed in the interactive activity. And you have your prompt, and you have your question, and you have check. So it's not a button that you click and it takes you to the activity. It's just that the activity will pop up. We'll keep it like this. Just make it maybe smaller. Don't need it to be. There it is, with the random US flag. But anyways, that's it. So now we have this activity that will stop or pause the video and then ask for an answer. Let's see what else happens in this video.
Amazing. Actually, can I ask a big favour? You know I'm making a new website, don't you? Well, I need some photos of the shop for it. Do you think you could take them? I'm not sure.
Okay, so we're gonna ask a question about this. So this is second 45. We'll go back to 45. You don't really have to go to 45. Like I said, you can just designate the time manually. And let's see, for this one, we have a few options here. Let's go with, where are we going with? Let's go with true or false. Let's go with true or false. We're going with true or false. I'm not going to do a poster again. I'm going to do a button. I actually like buttons more because it just looks cleaner. With the posters, you should be able to have control over the background, but I guess not for this activities, but some activities allow it. We'll see which ones. So we'll have a button. The label is TF, true or false. Title, we'll keep it as true or false. Questions, and the question here is Annie has just asked Becky to take photos for her website. Annie has just asked Becky to take photos of her website. and the correct answer is that this is true. Behavior, just normal stuff. So you can have one true or false here. One true or false. We can still add an image if we wanted. And we can just say done. And we can put this button anywhere. It will start at second 45, and we can put it anywhere. We can't resize it, but we can put it anywhere. We'll just leave it here. Let's see, actually. We'll leave it here. This is good enough. Alright, so all it is a video, and it goes on. There's a lot more talking, and at minute 1:20, let's see here. Let's just watch this bit. We're gonna write a question about.
You bought a child's desk. Your internet. Tom told me about your internet shopping mistake. You bought a child's desk instead of an adult one, didn't you?
It was an easy mistake to make.
So we'll add a question here, 120. We'll just add a quick activity. Let's see what else we have. Fill in the blanks, true or false. Mark the words, drag and drop. So I don't really want to use any of these anymore. You guys already know what these are. Alright, let's just use a multiple choice. Let's use a poster. Let's just call it multiple choice. And the question here is, what mistake did Mark make while shopping? And the correct answer is that he bought the wrong color desk, and we say this is the correct answer. He didn't pay for what he bought. It's not correct. Add another option. He bought the wrong color. Is that what? He actually bought the wrong size desk. That's the correct answer. He bought the wrong color desk. That is the wrong answer. Incorrect. And behavioral settings. I mean, if you have done a multiple choice module before our activity, same settings exactly. So we have it as a poster, but we didn't designate any pictures. So this is what it will look like. It will just be a white background and a question that will pop up, and it will look like this. And that will be 1 minute 20 seconds. That will pop up. Let me go back into edit. I want to see if we did say pause. Okay, we said pause the video, but we should say it's going to stay from 120 until 120 as well. Just 1 second and it'll disappear. Not even, it'll just appear and disappear, but it doesn't matter because it will be paused. Okay, so that is it for the questions that I wanted to add. Now I'm gonna add some of the other things that are not they're not interactive, but they're kind of like overlays. Some of them are interactive, but they're not questions, or they're more like prompts. So we did the labels. You can also add text, just information text. Let's choose the correct time. I want to add some text right here. Where's the cutscene? Okay, so Here, I'm gonna add some text and I'm gonna say, not a button, this will be a poster. And this is what it will say. It will say Mark and I don't know the other guy's name. Mark and Todd enter the room. Don't know why enter is a capital E. Don't need to be. All right. So this is the text that will show at this time, 101 to 101. I am gonna pause the video, or actually let's not pause the video. Let's just have this play a little bit from 1 until 104. 3 seconds. It's just kind of letting the user know what's happening right now. A poster will show up and it will say Mark and Todd enter the room. And the background of the poster, so this is the visuals that I was talking about before. The background of the poster, I want it to be, let's say I want it to be white, but I don't want it to be so, I don't want it to cover, I want the opacity to be lower. So we'll have it at like 0.3. And it will have a little bit of a box shadow, so the box will cast a shadow over the video. It's cool. It looks like kind of it's being on top, laid on top. And what will happen on click? This is optional, but basically with the rest of the components we're gonna add, they're gonna ask us for every component. What do you want to happen on click? If the user clicks on this, do you want him to go to a specific time code in the video? Do you want him to be sent to another time in the video? Or do you want him to go to a website? Do you want this to send him to another website if he clicks on it? I don't want it to do anything. Visualize. This kind of adds extra little visuals around the box, letting the user know that it's clickable. But for this one, I don't want anything. It's just more of something that will happen to narrate what's going on. So let me click on this. That's it, we're done. Let's see what this will look like. All right, so it just looks super ugly. Let me go in and change a few things. So first thing, the opacity is too low. Maybe we'll have it at 6. Choose. For the text, I want the text to be a little bigger. I want it to be bold. I want it to be in the center. And let's say done. Okay, this looks a little bit better here. So starting at minute 1, it will say Mark and Todd enter the room. And it will go on for 4 seconds until they sit down. It's not interactive, so that's what we wanted. There's just a little, I like symmetry here. Okay, this is symmetrical, I think. Okay, so that's what it would just say. You can change the colors, you can add picture, you can't add pictures, you can't add videos, you can just add colors, change the colors. If you want to add a picture, you would have to add it through this one, the image. Okay, so they sit down, they talk, no idea what they're talking about. Random, but you can add a table. Have nothing planned for this, so I'm gonna add a very basic type of thing. Not a button, but I just want to add a poster of a table. A button is just an extra step. We'll just call it table. So what you can do is you have a table here, you can change it, you can change the stuff that are in here, or what I like to do is I like to delete it, and I like to just add a new table. So if you go to this option here, add a table, tell it how many rows do you want. Let's just say 2 rows. Columns, let's say 3 rows and 2 columns. You give it the width. Headers, first row will be a header. It's got borders, that's fine. Alignment, we just say align it to the left. We're not adding anything else. So I have a table here, and it's just, I don't know, people, places, just say Annie, she's on the left. Becky is on the right. No idea what this means. It's just something that we're doing here. Hey, does this change, or does this add a table? If I want to add another row, let's say I want 5 rows, that goes inside it. So you better know what you want before you create it. That's it. For visuals, the background of the table, let's have a color like light red. So the table is not clickable, it's just strictly for information. It won't take you anywhere, can't take you anywhere, and it just looks like this. This is a table, very ugly. It's even got a scroll bar. So this table, let me just go inside a little bit to see how long. Okay, so this is just appearing for a second, and it's gonna pause the video. And then if you wanted to display information, this will be very helpful for something a bit more sophisticated. So it will pause, the student or the user can look at the table. Once they're done with it, they can just say continue, and it will continue. So that's fine, we'll leave that here. We'll add some things on the top here, or at the end. Let's see.
It would be great if you could, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was wondering how I was going to move it on my own.
Why not? But could I ask you a favour in return, Rachel?
Yes, of course. What?
Oh, it's too late.
Alright, I don't have anything planned. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add a link, an image. I won't do these activities, you already know what they are. So to add a link quickly, at minute 131, we're gonna add an image for 4 seconds. Title, just call it some image. Protocol, okay, so it's asking for a URL. Don't have a URL of an image. Let me grab a URL of an image here. Let's just go to Google very quickly, and first thing that comes to mind, house. Copy image address, come back here. That is a long address here, and that is not correct. Link address. Doesn't look like an image address here. Okay, that's got to be it. Okay, and background, let's just try yellow. A box shadow, sure, why not? So what that looks like is that it will open the image in a, it will open an image on the website that you designated. So it won't actually embed the image. It won't embed the image into the activity, but it will be a link to an image, as far as I can tell. We'll just say done. So that will be there for a few seconds. We'll try it out. The link is a bit simpler. So 137, we're gonna add a link here at 137. And yes, we're gonna pause the video. I'm gonna call this important link. This is the protocol, HTTPS, and google.com. Visuals, sure, I want something blue. I want something light blue. Good, so we have an important link here. Put it under his chin. No, important has got to be up. Right, in his eyes, that's where most people look. Made him into a... Okay, so we've got almost everything here already. So one last thing is, two last things. Crossroads, this is exclusive to this type of activity. So we're gonna add a crossroad at 141. And a crossroad, basically, it's a fork that tells you, do you wanna go left or do you wanna go right? It gives you two options of where you wanna go. And you can add more than two. You can add as many options as you want. So this crossroad will show up at 141. It will pause the video and it will ask this question. What do you want to do next? What do you want to do next? And you have some choices. The first choice is go back to the start. And if you say go back to the start, you can designate a timestamp here. So I'll say 007 because we started at 7 seconds, if you remember. If they choose this, we'll say all right. You're going back. Choice 2, let's just say go back to the middle. And if they choose this, they go back to minute 1. We just say cool. You're back at the middle. You can add as many choices. This one is end. And I think it's minute 45. That is the end. Minute 45. I want, or this is good. You're going to the end. So we've added all the choices. So now there is a fork or a crossroad at the end, and it's asking what do you want to do. If you had a long video, this would be very, very useful because you can send the user back to specific points of the video where you want it to review or do again or try something new. So that's what it will look like. And let's see here. Nice. So it's got what do you want to do next? No question mark, of course. I forgot. And it's got the options. After that, well, actually, sorry. I want to do something. It's not easy to choose it. There we go. Here, this one. I'll put this one in the end, actually. This should be the last option because it's gonna ask them what they want to do, and it's gonna take them somewhere for sure. They can't just skip it. So we'll let this one play at 1:45, which is basically the end of the video. And just before that, at 1:40, we'll add a navigation hotspot. 1:40 to 1:40. So this is a navigation hotspot. It will pause the video. The destination here is cool because you can either add a timestamp or you can add another page URL. So I want to do a URL and I want to send them to YouTube. So this is great for extra material that you have for students. you can just say, here's some extra material, and add these right here. And this link is going to be inside a rectangle, a circle, or a rounded rectangle. I want to put it in a circle. And the background of the circle I want to be blue. Okay, this looks good. Use pointer cursor, okay. I'm gonna add a blinking effect as well to just emphasize that you need to choose something. Alternative text. Type the subject, the Hotspot. I'll just say this takes you to a magical place. Hotspot label. We're gonna show this label, and it's just gonna say go to YouTube, and the color, let's do white color here, and let's change this to be more blue, white on blue, and let's see what that looks like. So then we get this circle here that says go to YouTube, and if you hover on it, it will say this will take you to a magical place. You can change the size of it, keep it like this. This will show up at 140. Okay, so now I have all my activities here. I have everything. There is one more thing that you can add, and that is adding the bookmarks, which is the sections or the chapters. I talked about this earlier, and this is how we add chapters. So right now, bookmarks, we don't have any bookmarks. So I move through the book. I can do something like this. Add this bookmark and call it chapter 1. Chapter 1. That's saved. I move here. Add another bookmark. Call this chapter 2. So this is kind of, if you used to watch movies on VCRs and you had chapters, not VCR, yeah, VCRs. I was gonna say VHS. VCRs had chapters like these. What you can do is just add, so add here chapter 3. Chapter 4. So this is especially helpful for long videos. And chapter 5. So we have 5 chapters now. And remember, in the options, when it asked us if we wanted to add the chapters. Starts with bookmark menu open right here. This is what it's talking about. So if you enable that, it will start like this with the menu, bookmark menu open. But we don't really want that. You can bookmark all the activities, and you say like activity 1 here, activity 2 right here, and so on. So we've added the chapters, we've added everything. There is a last step, which is step 3, and step 3 is an optional step, and it's basically the statement activity. It's a summary activity. If you want to summarize the whole video or ask questions about what happened in the video using the summary activity, you will do it here. So this shows at the end of the video. So let's do this. This is the end activity. Summary. Statement 1. List of summary statement. The first one is correct. No, the task. How many? Let me just double check this. I'll just put 1. Sorry for the scroll. I'll just put 1 and I'll put the task right here. I'll just say how many people were in this scene. How many people were in this scene? And 4, 5, 6, or 7. I don't want to ask too many questions. What you can do is you can just put statements. So first one is true and then the other 2 or 3 are false. And then put another statement that is true and then the other ones are false. And they will have to do this summary activity at the end. But I don't really have anything set up for it. I just want to show you how it works. For the tip, I'm not leaving any tips. So display, so this will display 3 seconds before the video ends. We just say 1 second before the video ends. We already put something at the end of the video. Behavioral settings, start video. So this is all the stuff from the first screen. So I have my summary task. Nothing special. I've got everything set up. Let's just update, take a look at what we created. Monstrosity. See if it makes sense. See if what we thought would happen did happen. And this usually takes some time to load. Guessing it's a little bit heavy, and it's embedding a video from YouTube. Okay, so first thing is we can click on our bookmarks and we can see our chapters. We can also see our video kind of chaptered off or sectioned off. We're not going to use it though, but let's watch the video. Let's go through it, see what happens.
And these are the photos.
So first thing is we have our labels, and I've enabled scrolling for the user so we can scroll through.
You haven't seen the ones for holiday, have you? No, I haven't.
And then it pauses. We have our single choice, holidays. Good, I got it correct. I'm going to continue.
Oh wow, that's a cool photo. That's the hotel we stayed in, isn't it? Yes, and there's the beach. It was only a few meters from the hotel.
Okay, so we got our poster coming up. Just fill in the missing words. The beach is only how a few. Let's just put a number. Let's see if we get it wrong. No, so we still have the option to continue.
Wow, Becky, these are really good.
The correct answer was a few meters.
They're amazing. I'm making a new well, I need some photos of the shop for it.
So now we have a true or false. We use the button. So we click on the button and this comes up. Annie has just asked Becky to take photos for her website. True or false? It's true. Check. Correct. Move on.
Do you think you could take them? I'm not sure. I'm not a real photographer. But I really love your pictures.
So we're gonna see some labels show up, if I can remember correctly.
Great.
So Mark and Todd enter the room. It's not clickable. Didn't pause the video.
So, Mark, Tom told me about your internet shopping mistake. You bought a...
Our table that paused the video. That's okay. Pretty ugly. I wouldn't use it unless I had to, but it is very useful if you are doing something more, like I said. Let's continue.
Child's desk instead of an apple. difficult one, didn't you?
It was an easy mistake to make. Could have happened to anyone.
Now we got our multiple choice. What mistake did Mark make? He bought the wrong size desk. Check.
Anyway, I'll turn out a little weird. Actually, I'm going to get a desk or something.
Oh, do you need a hand? Short towel out.
Oh yeah. Needed a muscle.
It would be great if you could, wouldn't it?
I paused this because we didn't click pause on with this label. So this was supposed to be the image. I'm gonna click on it. No idea what's gonna happen. Should take me to a picture of a house. Wow. I don't know if you guys can see this, but yes, it took me to a picture of a house. Now I don't want to see it anymore. Okay, good. So this just takes you to a picture, which is actually didn't look that bad. It's pretty cool. It's just full screened right away. All right, let's see what happens next.
Yeah, I was wondering how I was going to move it on my own.
Why not?
We have an important link. So this is a link. I remember this was Google. Click on it. Takes you to Google. House. Okay, this guy. Come back. Hit play. Something else coming up. This is a shape with a link, and you click on it, and it will take you to YouTube. Or you can just click keep playing. So here's the crossroad. It says, what do you want to do? You want to go back to the start? You want to go back to the middle or to the end? I'm going to go back to the start. And it says, all right, you're going back.
And these are the photos.
Took me all the way back to the start. Back to the middle will take me to the middle, to the end will take me to the end. So I don't want to do anything. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but a kind of bad time placement. Open summary dialog. So this showed up at the last second, 1 second before the video ended. I got this open summary dialog. And how many people were in the scene? 4 people. Continue, and that's it. We get a summary of what we answered and what we got correct. So we got 5 questions. We answered 5 questions. We got 4 of them correct. 1 of them we missed. You can click on it. It will take you back. You have to do the summary every time. You can say submit answers. So we still haven't submitted our answers. 4 out of 5 is okay. I submit my answers. I'm happy with it. And this activity is done. So you can still click on the activities to go back to the activities, or the labels. So these are the labels, the small dots, and the big dots are the activities. And the star at the end is the results, and we have our chapters, chapter 1, 2, chapter 3. Very cool. So to get this on your website, what you want to do is you want to copy the shortcode and you want to add it to a post or a page. What I want to do is add it to a new post. Okay, we have our new post. I want to title this number 20 interactive video, and I want to add a new block. Call this, or find a short block, add it, and then we want to paste our short block into it, or short code into it. Post, publish, and we want to view our post to see what it looks like. And it looks exactly like how we made it.
And these are the photos.
I won't go through it because you already know what it does and what happens. So that's it. That is an interactive video using H5P. It's very cool activities you can create with this. If you have any questions, you can ask me, put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. Again, this is just an interactive video but on its own, but you can add it as part of an interactive workbook if you wanted to. It's really cool, and it could be part of a bigger set of activities. That's it for today. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.